Okay everyone, thank you for joining this video. Today we're going to talk about how to enable ActiveSync synchronization for your emails, contacts and calendar in Microsoft Outlook for Zoho Mail server users. If you read the standard documentation in Zoho Mail, it's clear that you can use IMAP for synchronizing email and then install a plugin for the contacts, etc. It is actually a lot easier to configure, normal ActiveSync. That is the same way as Outlook connects with the Microsoft Exchange server. All your contacts, emails, and calendar are synchronized via ActiveSync. There's a couple of things we need to do. Most of them very simple. Some of them you need a little bit more technical access to the computer, or you need to be more comfortable with doing that, and that is we're going to enter a registry entry. So the first thing we need to do is ensure that the Zoho Mail server is enabled for ActiveSync. So here's the link to the mail server control panel that you need to use. And then there's a button here, I've highlighted that, is ActiveSync is enabled. If that's not enabled, it's not going to work. So make sure that this is enabled. You've probably been already in this control panel to ensure that IMAP was enabled, so you can get your mails in your CRM system. It's the same panel. Here you just make sure that ActiveSync is enabled. Unfortunately, this is for every mail account that you need to set this up. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a registry entry in Microsoft Windows. In order to do this, you need access to the Windows computer, and this is again by computer. And you need to have the privileges to make a registry entry. To do this, you type regedit.exe in your search bar and to open the application, and then you navigate to this key over here, and I'll show you a bit later on how to do that. We're going to run that through. It is important that you type this exactly as it is. I don't know if it's case sensitive. It is Windows, but just to be certain, it is disable Office 365 simplified account creation, and the value needs to be 1. It's a DWORD 32-bit. Why do we do that? Standard Microsoft has disabled the manual configuration for ActiveSync in Exchange servers. That is a great idea if you use a Microsoft Exchange server, because it just means you have to enter your email address and the system will do the rest itself. Great. But if you're using Zoho Mail or any other server that also uses ActiveSync, that tends not to work. So by adding this entry in your registry, it goes back to the original setup for Outlook, which looks like this. And for those of you that set it up before in previous versions, you'll recognize it, where you say, I want to set up a manual account or manual setup or additional servers, and then you just specify that you want to use Exchange Sync, ActiveSync. And once you click that, then you get the regular entry here where you can enter your name, your email address, the mail server, and then the username and password. Now we can enter the registry entry manually via going to the program called regedit, and then you navigate to the node as is described up here. Where it basically says, okay, you go to registry editor and go to current user, software, Microsoft Office, and then verse 16, Outlook, and then setup, and then enter a DWORD manually. But what I would advise you to do instead is to download this particular little file here, and I'll put a link to this site in the description of the video. So you can navigate to this knowledge base article, and you download this registry entry, and when it is in your downloads folder, you just double click it and it will import it into your registry. You just say yep, run, and then it will add the entry, and after that you can start Outlook. So now we're ready to add the Zoho Mail server as an ActiveSync server in Outlook. To do this, you go to File and then Add Account. What you notice is that the dialog has changed to the old way of doing things. We are going to click here Manual Setup or Additional Server Types. We click Next and we choose Exchange Server. And then we click next again, and now we type in your name. So in this type, this is Carl, the Zoho user's email address. It's Carl at and the mail server is msync.zoho.com. So it stands for mobile sync, so it's actually designed for the mobile clients, but it works perfectly well with your Outlook client. And then enter your password. So, and all we have to do now is next, and hopefully I entered everything correctly. It is now connected. Congratulations, all tests are completed successfully. You can close to continue. So now we close and we say finish. The Carl at Unbox Business now is synchronizing, and all the contacts, the emails, as well as the calendar invites are now running just like you normally run your Exchange server. I hope this video was useful for you. Let me know in the comments, or otherwise visit us on the web. And if you're not yet a Zoho subscriber because you thought like, well, you know what, I really like my Outlook and Office 365, you can subscribe to Zoho One right now and move your mail server over. Alright, look forward to seeing you in the next video.